I think we're live. Oh, I gotta adjust settings really quick. That's probably good, and we want to swap off of these. 171 compared to 220 still, so. Alright. I think I'm done grinding here. I think what I want to do is go down into dark roots. So I need to go run past this guy. And I might need to equip the shield, although this guy put me down the mid-roll. So we're gonna be here for a little bit. I wonder if the sword actually does better than our long sword. So we're gonna be down the mid-roll in here for a little bit, but we're experimenting. We're experimenting. So 109 on a one-handed hit. This guy won't jump back. 151. Take some moss clumps compared to 112 and got grabbed. Ow, 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 ow. Hey, big boy, how you doing? Regardless, the long sword isn't better than the dragon sword, unfortunately. Ooh, jeez. And geez, that grab attack is kind of deadly. Kind of. I don't know how much I raised my vitality from where it was before. So that grab attack is actually exceptionally deadly. Might just be comfortable with going down the mid roll and by going and grabbing an armor set. I do want to rest at a bonfire up ahead before I go out there, so give me that purple moss clump. Large soul of nameless soldier. Also, sorry if I'm having to clear my throat a lot. I just barely finished eating, so. Alright. There's a shiny door, I want to go through it. Locked by some contraption. Well, snap. Right. This area can be kind of treacherous, but it doesn't have to be. Like me, the illusory walls. We don't quite have enough for another level. We can... Oops. I want to repair if I can. So... Now comes the YOLO part, where I want to try and get a set of armor as well as another shield. I don't know if the shield will be any lighter than the heater shield, but I'll still want to try and make use of it. Actually, for the other set of armor that I'm grabbing, I'll pretty much need that shield. Let's mention there is a... I hear him. He hears me, I think. Darker Basin. Actually, now I think about it, there is another armor set that I could go and get right now. So, probably want to have some homeward bones on hand. Actually, no. Can I have a talisman equipped and still mid-roll? Or fast roll? Yes, I can. But I'll just majorly need to go and grab the shield down here. But we can also grab another armor set, along with the bow, from this helpful little corpse right here. And quite the bow. It came with feather arrows. Basically better arrows for long-range shots. There's a Black Knight here, and I don't want to kill him because I want to try and get the weapon he's using. But I might be eating it here in a minute. Later. Who? Alright, but like I said, there is another armor set that I can go and get actually right now, and I hope I'll be able to kill him. Probably don't want to rest at another bonfire because if I can, I just homeward and come straight back here. I did not think I'd be able to jump down there. Went really freaking far down there. Well, yeah, again, this game reminded you, it's freaking Dark Souls. Tried to go for it again. He still went for it. Jeez. Don't remember these guys being that evil with the grab attack. Red moss clump. Getting a lot of these moss clumps. I'll have to farm these off camera before we go down there, but bleed buildup, poison buildup. There is a blooming moss clump that gives a toxin cure, basically. He went for melee swing, I heard that. Maybe I should rest at another bonfire. Oh, but I completely forgot about it. We grabbed this grass crest shield. Old medium metal shield of unknown origin. The grass crest is lightly imbued with magic, which slightly speeds stamina recovery. The unfortunate thing is that it's much heavier than the heater shield, so we'll be using the heater shield for a while yet. If I was mid-rolling, I'd be more tempted to use it, but the fact of the matter is we're not mid-rolling. We do have the Claymore +3, which might actually be better. It's not lighter than Dragon Sword, both fortunately and unfortunately. Going back here. Funnily enough, we got the longbow, which should function a little bit better for us. Let me actually get my mouse off screen. Jeez! Can I hit him? There we go. There we go. Alright. This guy is probably going to kick my butt. The frick am I smoking? Oh, wait, does he not? Oh, he doesn't actually drop the armor set. I remember where the armor set is. Well, at any rate, the shield is still going to come in handy for the next boss. One of the enchanted blue shields, the crest shield greatly reduces magic damage. And yeah, it has pretty good damage reduction. Alright, I'm probably going to need to make the... Those 3 guys shouldn't be active, right? No. That item will stay right where it is for a little bit. And... yeah, we're gonna be... don't think I'll survive, but we're gonna try and make this YOLO. Later! So yeah, that's the armor set I was thinking of that I completely forgot about. Though he was loath to give up on his undead mission, he perished at the undead asylum and went hollow. I guess just kind of Inferno, like, trying to be like, hey, you remember this guy? Alright, we don't really have much in the way of weights. Go around. If we go past, I guess, 50%, we're mid-rolling. Yeah, we can do this. I suppose if we want to, we can go. We can almost do the full cosplay. That's new. Did Inferno put magic parry on this? That'd be kind of fascinating. Alright, but I more or less just ran straight forward and didn't really take time to examine the environment. Like, that's off-color tree over here. Actually, this might be a good time to show this, but... how fast my stamina builds back with the grass crest, and how fast it builds back without. You can kind of see that delay. Not nearly as conducive, plus it's a little bit faster. That's why I do like this shield. Like, it's bad to have this sort of green aura around your character 24/7, but I'll take it for what the effect is. And one of these trees that you don't really need to kill. These don't respawn, but they're kind of a silly little novelty, almost. And up ahead is another gun along with another item, but I have to be kind of careful about how I handle this next encounter. I was gonna say, if these guys want to show it, they can drop. These guys are a source of green blossom, which do also boost stamina recovery. Soul of a Proud Knight, and like I said, there's one more gun here. I need to get rid of this guy first. These guys, they can drop their shield and I think their sword, but that effect you saw him use, not so bueno, especially if you need to start running away from them. And right here, as stated, There's another gun, the plasma rifle. Similar story on these odd contraptions that of unknown origin. Actually going level. Wonder if I can drop the gloves. Now we're mid-rolling. We're a little less protected, but now we're dealing a bit more damage. In this area where he gets up, but you think you can just walk past him. Well, would you look at that? There's the shield. Actually, it would be one more protective shields that we could use if we could meet the required parameter. Mossy round great shield used by the guardian of the Dark Root Garden. The Stone Knight. Oh, used by the guardian of the Dark Root Garden. The Stone Knight. The Stone Knight is creation of ancient magic, and the shield is imbued with the same power, but also extremely heavy. And it doesn't say it's extremely heavy for no reason. That is a hefty weight. I think it makes it one of the heaviest in the game, practically. This ring, Inferno nerfed it, but it's, even though it's nerfed, it has half the effectiveness it normally would. It's still a really good ring if you need to just stand there and be able to get your damage out. And yeah, funny ragdoll. And that's the first part, Darker Garden, and actually it was a bit more involved than I thought it would be. So yeah, this is the way out. Didn't check this guy, but yeah, he didn't drop any green blossom either. Gonna head back to the fire so I can rest and level up. Probably just put a point in, you son of a gun. He must have heard me while I was back at that ledge. I'm probably gonna go ahead and unhollow here, as well as kindle this fire, so... gain 22 points of health or 2 more points of stamina. 1 more equip load. Let's go for health for now. Repair equipment. Completely forgot what I was going to do. Reverse hollowing. So now we're human. And kindle this fire. Did I grab the halberd? We did. It's not upgraded at all. Let's go ahead and go back to the longsword. Got that little flash, got an off-balance hit. Got a partisan. This odd two-headed lizard sort of dealio. I don't actually know what these guys are called. But these guys, if we're lucky, they'll drop an interesting item. And we didn't get that lucky. Go ahead and swap back to the Drake Sword. No, I don't have any rings like that. Actually, what protects more? The helmet, 16, or the gloves, 18. The gloves actually protect more than the helmets, which is actually very fascinating. I have an NPC summon here. Despite how much I like the Grass Crest Shield, I'm gonna go to the Crest Shield. We're just gonna be eating a little bit of a little bit more of a stamina, like drain. But thankfully I can fix that really darn quick. I can have a bow equipped, right? Yeah. Just have something for this boss. He might actually die before he lands. Holy crap, Beatrice. Jeez, I haven't had her trounce a boss that bad. Jeez. Soul of the mystical moonlight butterfly, which flitters in darker garden. Special beings have special souls. The butterfly soul is a creation of Seath the Scaleless. We can use it to get souls, or we can use it to make a weapon. No prizes for guessing what we're actually going to do with that. And actually, yeah, you saw me not defending versus defending with this shield. Yeah, that 80 defense... That 80 magic reduction is not for nothing. But we can go up here. And find not just this, but also a Divine Ember along with Homeward Bone. Because I knew you might not have Homeward when you got here. We can actually level up once from that. I do want to try and use a variety of stuff, but for now I'm gonna go point in endurance. Ember required for weapon ascension. Divine embers are property of the church and intended for divine blacksmiths. Divine weapons are for undead hunting. Used against undead and the pawns of necromancers. That's not all that the ember can do. The ember actually has a very special sort of side effect that I'll be showing off once we get there. But I'll need to stick around here to do a little bit of farming. And I already killed the boss here, so let's go ahead and use that humanity we got. Get some more item discovery. pretty much the easiest this ambush will ever be. We get the large soul of a nameless soldier. I gotta also go back to the grass crest shield. This also isn't a bad place for farming souls now that I think about it neither, because these sort of stickmen are worth 100 souls apiece. There's that blue and purple moss I was talking about. Not to mention they're your farmable source for these blossoms. Alright. Medicinal red moss clump reduces bleeding buildup. Bleeding builds up when attacked by sharp blades or spikes, and once triggered causes severe damage. Use this moss clump before it reaches this point. Poison builds up on the body, and when it breaks out, it causes gradual damage over a period of time. Poison can be exasperating, so be certain to carry the needed quantity of these moss clumps when destined for an afflicted area. Potently medicinal moss clump with a flower. Reduces poison and toxin, restores status. Toxin is a more vicious form of poison, which quickly leads to death. Moss clumps without a flower are useless against toxin, and the lack of these moss clumps could lead to an early demise. Where we're going, we're not going to be dealing with poison too much, but I completely forgot to point this out earlier, but you can completely walk past that guy and he'll pop up out of the ground behind you, and unless you hear him, you can start fighting this guy as he starts running up and starts attacking you as well. Yeah, we're gonna get our distance from the rest of the mob. These guys are also worth a decent bit of souls. So that's one way of dealing with this ambush if you really want to get the elite knight set here. Just take it nice and slow. Honestly, it's still funny to find this gecko sort of monster here, because the rest of its body, you can actually see it kind of blends in with the tree. And then, I guess, just part of its ambush sort of tactic. Still nothing from those guys. Alright, we're not going to spend too much more time here. Especially because I don't think we're getting down into Blighttown quite today. Well, I don't know. I don't know. Definitely take more of these green blossoms. It's also fascinating that the tree cover doesn't quite let you see back up the cliff, but we are down below that walk path where all the other Twigmen are. I mean, heck, we fell down here once. These guys are kind of a reliable drop source for the green blossoms. Oh, look on that sword. Oh, now that I think about something else, you might just barely walk close enough to that knight that he gets up as you start running up here and he starts following behind you. Before eventually this guy also gets to you. Whatever you do, do not do what I'm about to. This guy was alive somewhere. Alright. Do I rest? Nah, let's not rest now. We'll go and rest at the parish. There's another purple moss clump. We ain't gonna be dealing with that guy for a little while, so... Eminent Charmer. That is fair. That is very fair. We do have more Titanite, so what I could do... is we already have a Reinforced +3. Doesn't quite lock it into a Divine Claymore, thankfully.
I've seen one of those before. It's the ember of a divine blacksmith. Might you consider leaving that with me? I could produce divine weapons with a flame such as that.
For you, my friend, anything.
Well, thanks for that. You've made a fine decision. You soon shall see.
And we don't have the green Titanite shard to be able to make this divine claymore, but the divine root is actually pretty potent for what it is, and I'll show that a little bit more later. We can go ahead and get this armor smith box. I think that just barely makes a short of leveling. Or at least it would if we didn't have these souls. Go ahead and pop a Prognite, because I think that's 2,000? Yeah. So we can at least level. Another point in endurance. Not quite, but fear me and my claymore. The claymore now actually is a better weapon for us than the Drake Sword because of this 154 plus 84 scaling. So we can actually see that with the claymore compared, it's actually comparable now. And we still can't fast roll, but that's fine. Well, we're still fat rolling with our helmet. Still, this will be a fine weapon for us up ahead. Need humanity. So 135 on one hand. 197 on two hand. Freaking flying through the air with this thing. I do want to go check a NPC trigger, because I just want to make sure that they're not here. I think Petrus already mentioned he's waiting for his compatriots, and I just want to go and make sure they're not here already. They should appear after the next boss, I think, but we shall see. Yes, they're still not here.
Oh, miracles?
So that has a lot of miracles that we have yet to buy, and we will buy them.
Come again.
We will buy those miracles. It'll just be a little while yet before we do. But a while ago we picked up this key, the basement key. Opens the narrow passage leading below at the far face of the Great Bridge in the Undead Burg. The lower Undead Burg is a treacherous place. Do not turn your back on the wily thieves or the wild dogs who serve the Capra Demon. Back up we go. Go ahead and grab out some of these here throwing knives. For what good they'll do, because one of them is already coming after me. Didn't think the throwing knives would do that much damage. Do a little bit of healing. And we're just not gonna bother with Spear Bro there. Darn freaking collision on the environments. Alright, what I'm about to do will probably lead to my death, but we're going for it. Because this area is reloaded. Someone's still salty about losing their tail. Actually an idea, because we rested that fire that's below him. Trigger him to run away. Another Titanite. Like me some Titanite, although I don't know if his trigger for flying in is back yet. Gonna go with no. General question. Praise the sun. Yeah, bro is still here. Good old sun, bro.
Oh, hello there. Sun,
If only I could be so grossly incandescent. I did it. A little bit of a joke because I think I pointed this out before. If you want to, you can actually just jump down here without ever having to deal with Taurus. But yeah, now we're in the lower Undead Burg, so now, whew, this is where this game starts getting a little mean, I think. In case point, you saw I couldn't hit that dog because I was just barely too high above him. Although
Somebody. Please let me out of here. Somebody. Anybody. Help me. Unlock the door. Damn. I'm finished. How did this ever happen?
Hey, bud.
Brilliant. You opened the door for me. Thank you. I'm saved. I thought I might never escape. I am Griggs of Vinheim, the sorcerer of the school. I am much obliged for your assistance. Thanks to you, I may now resume my travels.
So somebody is capturing sorcerers and putting them in this room.
Oh, hello. I'm fine. I will rest a while, then return to Firelink Shrine. I have my sorcery, and I will be more cautious next time. Besides, I have an important task at hand.
Greg's out here letting us know what he's got in the works. You can actually see that a little bit of my health has been taken off. And that's nothing that is not happening for no reason. It's literally just... show it off here. You can actually see that their torch, it does do split fire damage. And that's what's making my health go down every time they hit my shield. Also, notably, worth noting out that you could just barely see a little bit of cloth around the chest, around about the midsection underneath the arms of this corpse. This is a female corpse, and we just got twin humanities off of it. Use to gain 2 humanity and restore a large amount of HP. This black sprite called humanity, but little is known of it, about its true nature. If the soul is the source of all life, then what distinction is left for humanity? And some people use that black sprite of humanity to think that that woman was likely pregnant when she died. I mean, certainly not a bad theory, but I don't know. Honestly, at least in my mind, females in Dark Souls seem to, at least in Dark Souls 1, they have the uncanny ability to attract humanity. Get their armor set, unfortunately. Can't get this mail breaker. But no, I think women, at least in the world of Dark Souls, have an uncanny ability to attract humanity a bit more than men do. Which is definitely food for thought until you remember that fire keepers are largely women. And we saw in the description for the Firekeeper soul that the Firekeeper is a corporeal manifestation of their fire, which burn humanity, and Firekeepers are gnawed at by infinite humanity. Oh, baby, a triple. This armor set. Very nice indeed. That's the thief armor set, and that mask is actually, at least for me, that mask is some serious style. And we can actually mid-roll like this. Excellent. That's also a good time to actually mention that armor sets somewhat do vary between genders. Like the male version of this would have the the hood. For the female, we have just the mouth cover. Be wary of left. That is a fair warning right there. No armor drop. Rear ahead. Oh, kind of true. Alright, there's a reason why I'm running up here, and it'll be apparent here in a second. This is your vendor for these moss clumps of all types, thankfully. She sells crap because we're down here in Aqueduct. The Larynx Skull is the fire version of the gold pine, the charcoal pine resin. Rotten pine, and I don't think she sells unlimited amounts of the transient curse, but she sells quite a bit of it. Poison. She sells some humanity, she doesn't have a lot. And Purgent Stones. Might as well hold on to my souls. And she sells a lot of armor. I think this is largely Dark Souls 2 armor. And she has a lot of it for sale. Some of this armor is actually better than the armor that's in the game to begin with. What a humdrum lass you are. But you know, fair enough, fair enough. Rude when she puts it that way, but fair enough. Finally, from this side, from this gate that we saw several days ago, we have a way directly back to Firelink. But I don't want to go and rest of that bonfire while all those enemies are still dead. And honestly, Capra might just kick my butt. I realize I said that about Oscar. I don't think I said it for Moonlight Butterfly, but Capra might actually really kick my trash. Might as well do some pine resin. I don't think it'll do extra damage to Capra, but we will see. What fetch did I say? Sure enough, yeah. Capra kicked my trash. Kicked my trash and asked me if I wanted seconds. But at this point, I'm more willing to go and actually rest at the bonfire in Firelink. Got an off-spelly hit on me. Souls. I don't remember the Baldur Knights being worth that much. One thing I do remember is, you can actually get more souls out of enemies without needing any extra rings. The way to do that, basically, is you need a weapon that can deal a significant amount of damage. If you do, I think it's 20% of the enemy's health in damage to them, and overkill them, by 20%, I should say, you can get some extra souls out of them. Now we're going for the salty run back. I can actually show this quite easily, so...
Oh, hello. At least we both made it back on... Oh, hello. Terrific to see us both in one piece. And pray that you never go hollow.
He can teach us sorceries, but he won't because we're stupid. We don't have enough intelligence. Which hopefully after killing Capra we'll have enough intelligence, but more to the point, let me go ahead and show with this guy. He gave us 60 souls, so now 158, 72. So we got 12 per, I think it's 12%. We got more souls out of him at any rate. We got 12 more souls out of it. Stop throwing those. Okay, drop me a humanity. Frickin' cheap. Oh, sorry, let me do this really quick. I have the wrong thing? I guess I did. Alright, we're not gonna pine resin this next attempt. Pine resin is still kind of precious. Son of a gun. $313 on that backstab. Dog's probably coming, because there's no way they didn't hear that. God, Brenda. All right. Key to the depths. Victory achieved. I was about to say, it's interesting, he didn't give us any souls. But there it goes. He gave us souls. Alright, but now that we've killed Capra, I do believe Petrus's entourage has arrived. But before we head back to Firelink, there are technically 3 things I would take care of while we're here. And for this, I'm actually going to swap back to the Drake Sword. This freaking red tearstone, blue tearstone ring. We've been getting some serious mileage out of this. Look out there and see that butcher over there. We'll take care of her in a second. Absolutely unnecessary, but you know we take those. See, this butcher was carving up. It's carving up something. Could have been a rat, could have been a person. But in this chest is a very important ember for us. A large, high-quality ember, handled by the blacksmiths of Astora. Just a hint as to where you need to take it. Ascension for +5 standard weapon allows reinforcement to +10. And also can reinforce +5 standard weapon to raw weapon. Raw weapon can be reinforced to +5. Raw, I don't know what it does. I think it just boosts just the base damage of whatever weapon it's applied to and lowers the scaling. So if you're not planning on having very high damage stats, raw might be the way to go for you. Stab, stabby. Got the sack, which, comparatively speaking, is not better than even the black mask. Has better strike defense, though. Bloodstained patchwork sack by the undead man-eating cook lurking in the depths. 2 high holes have been haphazardly cut out. It is unexpectedly soft and comfortable to wear, but it is probably near meaningless in terms of defense. But we aren't here for that. We are here for one person.
You. Yes, you. Here, open, please.
You must help me.
Oh, there you are. You must help me. Or else she'll have me for lunch. You're my only hope.
Oh, please.
She'll have me for lunch. Talking about the two butchers out there? Or talking about Maneater Mildred? You can attack to break the barrel, but I'd rather not risk that.
Thank you. I would have been a supper never again. Been eaten alive. I shudder to think.
Thank you. Thank you dearly. I am Laurentius. The Great Swan. Oh,
We actually don't have any.
Oh, hello there. I'm fine, thanks to you.
I can homeward and just return straight back to Firelink that way and save us some time, but I'd rather try and do this while all the enemies here are still dead. I guess I hope they don't come back if I leave the area. Still remember I tested and... Gosh, I might need to test again, actually. Well, those ladies are back, so it might not matter. Yeah, it won't matter. I thought about doing this just a minimal boss kill run. Just how many bosses do you not have to kill in this game? And I imagine there's a definitive answer out there, but... This guy has some very important stuff for us, so I want to have as much souls as I possibly can.
Well, I see you made it out. Yeah, I made it out safely too.
I have my Pyromancy of the Great Swamp, so I can use my hands with a bit of care.
Oh yeah. By the way, I can share the spells with you. I think you have a knack for it. All you need are the materials. I'll be pleased to help you. Unless you find the magic's unsavory.
Nope, I do not find them unsavory at all.
Yeah, wonderful. I'm sure that they'll be of some use, some assistance. Here, first take this.
A flame from the Great Swamp. Now you're a fully fledged pyromancer. Why, let's get started right now.
He has a lot of pyromancy here for us, and actually some of these have been changed because of Inferno. Fire can be a show of strength, but it's also a symbol of wisdom and comfort. Fire is what the caster wishes it be. Fireball. Standard pyromancy of the Great Swamp. Hurl Fireball. The fire damage caused by fireballs makes them effective against corporeal beasts and undead, who by nature fear flame. Pyromancy of Carmina, who harness the power of the flame to actualize the inner self. Intense sweating reduces flame damage. Carmina, the most accomplished pupil of Salomon, the master pyromancer, pioneered new directions for the art of pyromancy. Pyromancy of Carmina. Iron Flesh boosts defense and resilience. Use of this pyromancy requires caution, as the caster becomes exceedingly heavy and unable to move freely. One of the most basic pyromancies. For this very reason, the flame thus created is fierce. Pyromancy of Unknown Origin. Expel magma from the mouth. A barbaric spell likely created as a show of bravery or strength. Only a man would actually consider using pyromancy such as this. We're mainly going to get combustion right now. We can buy another pyromancy flame, but for now I'm going to take the rest of the souls we have. And let me actually make sure I did buy combustion, yes. Alright, this flame is as strong right now as we're going to be able to get it, and there actually is another effect with it.
Come back if you find anything new.
But pyromancy is very strong indeed, and you just saw it doesn't take a whole lot to build into. It just takes souls, which you can get in abundance at times. And actually, I didn't attune a pyromancy. Well, I can at least show this. This is something from, I think, Dark Souls 2 that Inferno put in here. Immolation, which will actually do quite a bit for us with as a pyromancer now. Gonna go ahead and apply it again. Just rest up. The trade-off is that it does drain health, as you can see up top. But our pyromancies will be significantly stronger as an end result. So 222 versus, oh well, yeah, there's that too. We can actually hurt enemies that we're near with this. $235. It's a slight boost to pyromancies, but you can still see we're injuring enemies just by being near them which honestly is not a horribly bad thing. Gonna go ahead and save some weight on swapping our sword. Actually, that might actually want to have the claymore in hand. But pretty much for any build in this game, you're going to want pyromancy. Pyromancy is very much just a here's free magic damage, essentially. And I didn't go and talk to them, but we can go down. We'll be able to go back. I'm not going to be doing overly much down in the depths. Go ahead and swap back to the Drake sword. Huh. Now that guy heard me and started running after me. That's why he wasn't in that corner. But I pointed out this table, and one thing I didn't point out was the doorway that was back behind the table. He's down to a pile of bones, and you can see a big old friend down there. And a big old friend who seems to be missing an eye. But we are going to be using... $209, $239. Yeah, you can look down there at that big guy there. That's some poor brigand. How many souls has this rat eaten to be able to get that big? And a guaranteed humanity. Sewer chamber key. And the soul of a nameless soldier. Some poor warrior who went down here. Alright. Now the fun part, we need to navigate our way to the bonfire in this area. You can kind of see a hole down there. I forget which holes we don't want to fall into. All I'm gonna do is, all I'm gonna say is I'm gonna take caution with every hole possible. That rat actually thought I was up there with him. It burst out. These rats are definitely interesting in that they are a source of humanity. They can drop humanity. But it's a little fickle whether they do or not. Me trying to be slick. Got a great X here. And none of these rats dropped humanity. Of course, when I say they can, they don't. And at least I hope I did the right thing by coming this way. Cannot open from this side, so yeah, I went the wrong direction. The bonfire is back up the stairs in that room I was in, but I don't want to rest that bonfire with the shortcut there closed like that. Oh gosh. Well. Not what I was expecting to have happen. The freaking dude there. Still good that we got him killed now rather than later. This sorcerer, well, this channeler won't respawn. And we can actually look out here. This is where the next boss will be. So if he was left alive, he would just be standing here. He'd do his dance to buff the boss, make it do more damage, along with shooting soul arrows at you the whole time. Oh, baby, a double. And there's nothing in these crates. I always found it funny that they have, like, two other crates next to each other to be like, oh, watch out, there could be more rats here. Watch out, ooh. Actually, funnily enough, I'm on the other side of the fog wall that we saw when we came down here. There's that corpse. Here's all the rats that we killed. It's just kind of a, here's how small this area actually is, sort of deal. Did exactly what I didn't want to do. But who knows, maybe that'll actually work out here. These basilisks can't attack you as they are, and they drop those eyes of death. Oh my gosh! That was close. We don't have much in the way of curse resistance, and in fact I don't think there's a way for us to actually raise it at all. Because I think curse resistance is tied to how much humanity you have. Kind of interesting when you think about it that way. The more humanity you have, the more resistant to curse you are. This ring, if you're struggling with this game, might make it a little bit easier for you, the Ring of the Evil Eye. According to legend, this ring contains the spirit of the Evil Eye, a dark beast which assaulted Astora. The strength of the Evil Eye does not waver, and HP is absorbed from fallen enemies. Which actually might be a little bit more helpful than the blue Tearstone ring. And that's the second one of these we've picked up now, these Eyes of Death. So we're gonna find it. Lure phantoms from other worlds. Only Covenanter can use the item, while Hollows cannot. The dreadful Eyes of Death spread disaster across neighboring worlds. Phantoms lured to the host world may end up as victims, allowing the Eyes of Death to multiply, and leading to further proliferation of Bane. Yeah, fascinating that an enemy like this, which actually I don't know if we'll be able to get a good view of it, but the big bulbous parts are actually not its eyes. Here's something else, their eyes are far smaller. And I think... Hi. I think right here is where it is. Get against the wall and see. No. It's near the other set? The other set of stairs we were at? Right here, is it? May not be in this part of the dungeon at all. Oh well, / shrug. Those are the basilisks, thankfully. Actually, it's hard to tell from down here, but we're actually down below from where the giant rat was. It's not here, is it? No. There it is. There it is. The poster weapon from Halo. Big ol' assault rifle. Same description as all the other guns, but there's where it is for you. These enemies are very interesting in that they'll just soak up everything you do to them all day and come back for more. Unless you hit them with fire, then they very much hate you. And these guys are actually a good early, well, a decent early source of Titanite shards, specifically the green Titanite shards, which we'll need for a divine weapon. There really is just a lot of stuff they can farm here. Out here, it's actually the way to the boss, and up there, granted it's hidden by a ruined pillar, was where the channeler was. We are not fighting the gaping dragon today, and probably not for a decent bit. Although we can get the introduction to a very loved NPC here.
Aye, Shemai. I'm quick to you. I'm Donald of Xena. I'm just a pet nurse, but I adore trinkets and oddities, so I trade for them.
He has gold pine resin. He has 3 more of it, which might actually be worth it in the bottomless box, which we'll go ahead and take. We'll take the gold pine resin he has. He's our vendor for the crystal weapons. A fully crystallized straight sword. How such a weapon was created is entirely unknown. The crystallization boosts its attack, but makes the blade brittle. The sword cannot be used for long and cannot be repaired. And that's actually quite fair, because you can actually see it has 120 durability. But you can see that the sword is strong. It is quite strong. So this, if you need a boost of damage for a short time, this might be how you do it, but these weapons can't be upgraded nor repaired, as the description says. The shield is actually quite durable as it looks. Straight sword. Crystallization. The shield cannot be used for long and cannot be repaired. He sells our arrows, and he sells his own armor. Dama will have a purpose later, but for now he really just doesn't have much for us.
I'm afraid I don't see anything here. Well, that is a shame, but no matter. No, not to worry. Come back again. I'm always available. Not every trade was meant to be. There'll be more in store for us. Someday. Sometime.
Donald is a very chill guy. And I wasn't able to show it because I was trying to get back to the area, but up there is where we fought the giant rat. And you can see that almost every path except the far left would have led down into those caverns with the basilisks. All this work to get back to this door. This door right here. No, we don't have any green titanite. Soul nameless soldier. So, one-stop shop for green titanite. I had half thought that we didn't power up the flame enough, but let's see we're wrong. And sure enough, yeah, there's our green titanite shard. And there is a welcome sight, our bonfire. We won't need this. He's got very lucky on that one. Yeah, we can level up. So that we can speak with Griggs and also get some sorceries from him. We're not going to be using much in the way of sorceries unless I want to grind up levels for them. This is one more chance at green titanite, might as well. Granted, it might make the farm go on for far too long. Also interesting that we had just enough time to... I guess we can always fast roll in the water no matter what. Huh. 175 on these sometimes. We have 2 green titanite, so we can actually take a weapon to divine, which might actually be worth it after this run. Just go get a divine weapon and then homeward back down. Actually, I don't have homeward equipped, but I have homeward bone, so ain't no thing. Ain't no thing. That's why we're going to take a moment to go speak with Griggs, as well as Petrus's entourage. I think we'll have enough souls for weapon ascension. Just taking a moment to realize that the black leather armor for females actually gives them a corset. You can see that their fire damage is just hitting my shield and doing damage, but I'm healing that damage back immediately thanks to the evil eye ring. Keep thinking that that path is just going to keep going. We're probably not going to be going too much longer through this stream. I'm probably largely going to be farming green Titanite shards. Enough to get our divine weapon maxed out, and that might take me a while, who knows. Also, a helpful point of pyromancy is that you can use it in spaces like this where you can't necessarily swing a right-handed weapon. That's another Titanite shard. Hey, Griggs.
Oh, hello. Terrific to see us both in one piece. Incidentally, would you care to learn any sorceries? You're clearly talented, and besides, I owe you. Of course, we will require some materials, but I'm happy to teach you some elementary spells. Are you interested?
Yes.
Splendid. Very well. I am pleased to have a chance to give something back. Well then, let's get started straight away.
He has a number of sorceries for us, as well as the catalyst, but he also has these rings, which... This ring I'm gonna want, particularly. A special ring granted to only the most accomplished sorcerers at Vinheim Dragon School. The ring is engraved with an everlasting dragon and boosts the strength of sorceries and pyromancies. As it states there, boosts the strength of sorceries and pyromancies.
Goodbye then.
Very interesting wording on that. As stated, you can see that Petrus's entourage is here, but we don't want to talk to Petrus just yet.
Hmm? What have we here? You look awfully raggedy. Times are grim. The least you can do is look sharp. Don't you dare meet my lady like that. You might scare her off for good. Oh, you again. What business have you? Don't suppose we can help, though. We accompany my lady on her righteous mission. It is quite a chore, but I'm stuck with her. And Nico, too. I can't very well abandon them now. Oh, you again. It is quite a
What of Nico here?
Hmm?
Very deep lore.
Hmm?
Very, very deep.
You are undead as well. Then we've no time to fraternize. I have my mission and you no doubt have yours. We must not let this curse overcome us. Did I not explain the urgency of our tasks? Or are you so uncouth as to lack such judgment? By the looks of you, I should think not. Did I not explain?
Oh. I can't.
Alright, and as stated, we can't talk to Petrus, otherwise that will trigger them to move, and I don't want them to move yet. That's why we're getting the Green Titanite shards. That's a wall. That is a certified wall right there. Okay, it was a Titanite shard. How generous. Be wary of enemy. That could be talking about the Titanite demon down here.
Why, that's a fine ember you have there. I could smith some mighty weapons with one of those. Why not lend it to me?
Of course.
Magnificent! You won't be disappointed. I can hardly wait to get started.
So now we can modify weapons +6 as well as divine weapons. We're going to take the divine claymore and we're going to put our longsword on the path to +6. So now we can actually modify the weapon to +7. Then +1. Divine weapons actually have an extra property that the game doesn't really tell you, at least in this version of Dark Souls. We're down the mid rolling, but oh, I know how I can show that off. So you can see I'm sometimes gaining HP instead of losing some. I hope it doesn't kill me. I mean, most unfortunate if I burn to death. But yes, you can see that because of the divine weapon, I'm actually gaining HP slowly. And the regen actually stops with the weapon stowed. But there is a reason to make divine weapons as opposed to... There is a reason to make divine weapons. And you actually see that because of making this a divine weapon, it actually has scaling with faith. And that scaling will only get better the more I upgrade this, which the more I upgrade it as well as the higher my faith. but that will do it for me. I just wanted to get this stream out, just have a moment to hang out, and at least think about something another YouTuber I follow said about Dark Souls. Dark Souls in general, at least appears to be somewhat of an autumn game, so playing this right now is not necessarily a bad idea. But for now, I have been Okami, and I will see you all again later. Alright, thank you for watching. Have a good night.